It's really exciting to be here. I'm not a coffee drinker, but this morning I was put in a situation where I had to drink coffee, so I'm super wired, which also means that I could like crash at any moment. So if I like face plant, just know that that's what's happening. And I'm in a hospital, so it's okay. I want to talk about healthcare today. I'm an engineer by training who works in the world of healthcare, which raises a lot of eyebrows every time I walk into a room. Healthcare is really special, and it impacts each and every one of us deeply. And in Canada specifically, the healthcare system we hold very near and dear to our heart. You know, it is what it makes us proud to be Canadian in a lot of ways. And maybe it's this emotional attachment to healthcare that's at the core of why we are unable to innovate in it, and at the same pace that other industries are. So I founded this company called .health about a year and a half ago. And we're on this mission to give every single Canadian access to their own personal health data. You would think in 2018, when I can scroll through my own coffee receipts from 7 years ago pretty easily, I would be able to access my own lab results on my phone. Not true. Because while legally all of the information about us, when we go to a hospital or we go to a healthcare provider, belongs to us, in reality, it actually lives at each independent institution. You know, and for some of us, that could mean it lives, you know, maybe on University Avenue, because those are all the hospitals you've been to. But for others, it could mean that that data lives in different cities across this country, or multiple countries around the world. How weird would it be if your Visa card stopped working the moment you crossed the Canadian border? That's sort of how healthcare works right now. So I'm an engineer by training, and I've been lucky enough to spend my career building, you know, deeply beloved, often viral consumer technologies. I got my start at a company called Wattpad, which is a global storytelling platform for readers and writers. 80 million unique monthly visits around the world in 17 different languages, really exciting. I was also lucky to be on the ground floor of a company called Wealthsimple, which makes investing really straightforward for people. So when we were in the Globe and Mail with me as the CEO and founder of .health, people were like, she doesn't know anything about healthcare. What is she doing? In fact, I have like exact quotes from people when we went in to pitch .health. You know, this 75-year-old retired head of surgery who chaired the board of a hospital said, "You have no experience in healthcare. What are you doing here? Healthcare is special. You need to understand the nuances of it to innovate in it." Or my favorite, "The innovator in healthcare needs to be a medical professional." And I'm here to tell you that that is not true. Because Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, is not coming from a background of being the CEO of Sears. Amazon today has a market cap of $800 billion. Sears is struggling to keep their doors open. Kevin Systrom, the CEO of Instagram, a business he sold to Facebook for $1 billion in 2012, is not the former CEO of Kodak. Not only that, Kevin had no experience building photo-taking platforms at all. And I think what Amazon, Instagram, a bunch of other businesses are doing today is taking a traditional model and turning it on its head. What Amazon and Instagram and so many other companies around us prove is that you can make things better by leveraging technology, and you can improve access by leveraging technology that already exists. So instead of forcing everybody to buy, you know, expensive camera equipment, what can we do to make the photos that come from your phone, something everybody has today, look just as good as the professional ones? Why walk into a bookstore when you can have the largest collection of books at your fingertips with same-day delivery? And I think what's interesting is we need to look at what those use cases look like in healthcare. Can we deliver healthcare using technology to some of our remote populations without spending millions of dollars flying people from rural areas using a helicopter to urban centers? What can we do to create satellite surgical centers in different parts of Canada without ballooning our costs of delivering healthcare? When it comes to this industry, and this was a steep learning curve for me, the largest roadblock tends to be that we think our industry is somehow special. It's somehow unlike all the other ones. And while that may be true in certain niche areas, yeah, healthcare is about life and death, it's not true on a macro scale. Healthcare faces the same infrastructure, communication, and people problems that other industries face in finance, in transportation, in the legal world. We have all the same problems. Most of the problems faced by the healthcare industry are not actually medical problems. They're infrastructure problems. Problems that people with engineering backgrounds, with communication backgrounds, can help solve in a big way. In healthcare, we're inefficient and we need process optimization. We're siloed and need interoperability solutions. We suffer from long wait times in a growing aging population. If we continue at the same rate that we are today, by 2040, our entire budget of Canada will be spent entirely on healthcare. And if you think about problem solving broadly, when we're faced with a problem, what's the fastest way to get at a solution? Looking around us to say, wait a minute, someone else had this problem, maybe in a different context, but they solved it. Who is coming out the other end victorious, and what can we learn from them? Why would we reinvent something if a solution exists already? What we learned from TTC's decision to start from scratch on Presto, anyone who's used this knows the problems with Presto. Why did we not find an off-the-shelf solution? What we've learned is that it is way more painful to start from scratch and not learn from other people's mistakes. This is an exercise in recognizing the areas that we're really good at and some of the areas that we're not good at. This is what a true business does, is it figures out what it's really good at and outsources everything else. What attracted me to the world of healthcare was, of course, the massive impact it has on everybody alive, but also how far behind it was in technology adoption. They say entrepreneurs are unreasonable, and I'm as unreasonable as they come. When someone told me, that's not how it works, or 2 hospitals across the street from each other on University Avenue can't share information, I was like, well, why not? And I'm excited about the things that we can solve when it comes to the world of technology and the world of healthcare. At DOT, we're on a mission to make the healthcare experience, the patient journey, as beautiful and seamless as some of our favorite mobile experiences. Because just because it doesn't work that way today doesn't mean that it can't work that way in the future. But the only way we can truly get there is if we have true collaboration from partners already in the ecosystem. When existing giants in the world of healthcare can recognize, take a step back and say, we don't need to reinvent something that already exists. We have innovators around us that can help us get to where we want to be faster. My name is Huda Idrees. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Miigwech.